Right. So, welcome to today's class. I think yesterday we talked about reports and dashboards, and we understood the difference between a normal reporting as well as the performance analytics. Right. We also understood how to use things on dashboards, how to add multiple reports to dashboards. And when you actually use performance analytics, it is more about taking the historical snapshots of the data so that you can compare that at that point of time, I was at this stage and now I am at this stage. So that you can continuously track your improvement cycle and you can see whether I'm moving or not. For example, I'll give you example of rights. So for customer executive, if the goal of the overall incident management process is improving CSAT score, for example, he has noticed that the CSAT score today is 5.5 and they want to improve it to 8, then that is the goal for the higher level executive. Now, when they kind of talk to their people in the organization, like service manager or service owners who are responsible for doing that, they'll tell them, okay, this is what I want to do. Now you decide your goals, how to achieve that part. They'll tell you, for example, okay, reduce the mean time to repair an incident maybe by 25%, for example. They can tell you first call resolution, I want to increase fast. They can tell you that all the open incidents which are there for open more than 5 days, open more than 1 day, they have to be taken on priority. So something of that kind of story people build around it in terms of, okay, what is it that I want? So in that case, what happens generally is you can go to, for example, IT executive. So everybody has their own view. Now, for example, what you see here is this is the view for IT executive, where he can see that, okay, these are the different KPIs or indicators. These are called as actually indicators, customers. So whatever this right now, there is no data in my system. That is why I'm able to see it. But I just wanted to tell you what kind of parameters do people go for while creating those dashboards and reports. So they can find out, okay, CSAT score, is it improving or not? So it shows you somewhere here that it has improved or not. So those things are called as indicators in performance analytics. Okay, how many SLAs we are breaching? Is it this number? Is so it can show you a trend over a period of time. This is the case for IT executive. Now, similarly, if I just want to see this IT manager, then he will have a different view, right? So and all of these views will be drilled down from the goals of IT executive actually. So he will see, okay, this is what I have told my team, mean time to resolve should go down. Plan changes the next 7 days. I should be able to clearly find out. I should be able to see the workload for my team. So all of these are actually, these are indicators. These are KPIs which they are trying to find out. And against all those KPIs, there has scores and trends. The score will tell you, okay, maybe 40%. And it will also tell you what it was a year ago or a month ago and what it is as of today. So you can see the trend growth. So the idea, because performance analytics in itself is a big topic to learn, which is of course not a part of this content. I'm just giving you a high level understanding where to use performance analytics and where to use normal reporting. Also, in case of performance analytics reporting, you need to do a lot of stuff. It is not just create a report on the table and start doing it. It requires you, for example, if we just show you the menu, you will understand what I'm talking about. Yes, there are so many things: dashboards, widgets, indicators, score sheet, breakdowns, sources. So you have to data collectors. So what you have to do is you have to first select, for example, again, I'm going very, very short on this, right? Because again, it will take a lot of time otherwise. So you have to decide the KPIs and the indicators which you want to track. Then you can decide the score. How do you want to display the score? In what kind of format do you want to display the scores, right? Then you do the breakdown. This is called as breakdown. Now I am breaking this down. I mean, this particular chart I am looking at right now, it is at the groups level. You can see it here. This is called as breakdown, and these are called as breakdown elements, which means we are breaking this particular chart or graph or report down to the groups level. And for which groups I want to see it, for example, I just want to see it for CAB approval, ECAB approval, anything which is related to CAB, for example, I can apply. So the moment I apply this, everywhere you will see changes happening in system in these reports and graphs. Can you see this here? Right? It shows only for those groups. So this is where the power of interactive filter also comes into play, that you can play around the report and dashboard as per your own requirements. You can actually add those widgets to find out. You can add those interactive. For example, let me show you this here, right? So favorites here. So these are the options you have. Reports. So reports is something we have already seen yesterday. Favorites is something whatever you have built already. in your favorite section, performance analytics. Now, if I want to use performance analytics, they'll ask you, okay, what kind of breakdown do you want to use? Maybe I want to use a breakdown of this one, for example, right? And there's no data right now, but then ideally I'm trying to tell you how the breakdown looks like. This is where I have taken the breakdown. Now, right now it is in line visualization. I can use any scorecard, pie. These are all scorecards visualization, pie, donut. So that is how you can actually play around with this. But again, as I said, it is a very long session in terms of understanding the entire performance analytics. I'm just giving you, so you have options like breakdown lists, pivots, scores, time series, all of these options are there in case of performance analytics. Now I talk about interactive filters. Now, interactive filters, for example, I just want to use, I have removed this report. I will remove this because I can do that from my side. Let me try to use something like choice list. And when I say choice list, I'm saying incident priority single. Now, this is the drop down I've got here. Now, whatever the dashboard is here, it will all change based on the priority I select. Now, when I select priority number 1 critical, it will auto update everything for that. This is how you actually add the widgets or interactive filters to make your dashboards quite interactive. And this is really, really useful. I've used that multiple times in my previous experiences, and it does really help you. And you don't need to make it so big, right? You can just make it like smaller one because it is not that big. And you can add 4 or 5 filters here, whatever you want to add. Right? That is all the idea is. And for example, this one, this is where you can change the setting of this particular thing, whatever you're looking at. This is where you can change things, right? So this is the widget part of it. Then you can see choice list. I've used choice list at that point of time when I was using interactive filters. You can have a Boolean value, yes or no kind of. So whatever fields have values like yes or no, they'll be appearing up here. Date, group. So the idea is you can add multiple widgets here. These are all the categories, the content blocks. Again, I will not go into all of them because otherwise it will become quite long. But there are a lot of options to select or to add things to your dashboards. And this is where you customize your dashboards as per the specific needs. That's the whole idea of performance analytics. And you get all of these features like interactive filters and everything only when you have the performance analytics. However, I think generally ServiceNow offers the basic incident management premium dashboard for PA just to have a look around how does it look like, and then people decide whether they need to go for other modules also, because every module has their own performance analytics section. For example, if we talk about customer service management, it will have its own. We'll talk about incident management, it will have its own. We'll talk about change management, it will have its own performance analytics stack. Now you can still, if you have the capability and you have the licenses to use performance analytics overall, you can create for anything for that matter. However, when you actually buy that plugin for different modules, in that case, it gives you an automated, I would say, a set of things which are already there in system, which you can reuse for yourself. That is the whole purpose of it. That's IT manager. Now I can maybe say, IT agent. He'll have a different view. So everybody can have their own view. So he is focused. He is not focused about CSAT score. So IT agent is focused only about my open incidents, my open problems, my open requests, all of that stuff, right? He will not look, and he can also see my group's work. So if there is anything he think he can take it in his queue, he can also take it from his queue. And this is incident spotlight. So you can see critical incidents. And these are those interactive filters I was talking about some time back. You can change values here and everything will be reflected accordingly. So they require configuration. I mean, I'm not saying you can use it directly as it is. Few of them can be used directly as it is, but some of them require configuration or customization. But then performance analytics in itself is a big area to learn because it is an advanced reporting section, and not many people in the market are quite I would say expert in this area. They're learning this because it is quite new in the game. But yeah, you have a lot of stuff here. You run the jobs, you collect the data over a period of time, and then based on that, all that stuff, you actually create the reports and dashboards in system. This is how the performance analytics work. And then use case is very simple. This is where you have to be very clear that where to use performance analytics and where to use normal reporting. So you will use performance analytics only when you want to see historical data. What was the state of that data at a particular point of time, right? Otherwise, you can use normal reporting for a daily use. Now, for example, I'll give you a very simple example. If I want to create a report of incidents trend that, okay, tell me the incidents which have happened in the last 12 months. I want to see the number of incidents and see the trend. For that, you don't need performance analytics, because if in the month of January, you had 15 incidents in the system, even now it will be 15 incidents. If in the month of Feb, you had 20 incidents, even now it will be 20 incidents, right? So that will not change. So those things which do not change over a period of time, for that, you can use normal reporting. You have a trend report there also. But I am trying to tell you that for those cases where you want to do a filter based on the status or some value, priority, what was the priority earlier, and now what is the priority now? How many times priority has changed? So whenever there is any specific value which gets changed for a record, only for those cases, historically, only for those cases, you are supposed to use performance analytics. Not in this case, as I said, that show me the incident volume from Jan to December divided by months. That you can always show even now. That is not a big deal. Okay, so far so good. Maybe I will just show you quickly a report around that. How do we create that report, which I just talked about? So if I am going to create a new report, for example, incident trend report. Incident trend report. There will also be a revision for us, quick revision, and you'll see something live in the system. Now I want to select table incident. System is too fast today. We have to wait. Yeah, I've moved there. Now I am asking, for example, what kind of trend report I want to see, right? And then I can use something called maybe a line graph, right? And I'm saying group by created it, trend by created, and I'm saying start per month. I want to see this report. Group by maybe group by, I can say assignees. Right, I'm just trying to tell you this, how will it look like. So can you see this? If I don't want to do a group by here, which is also okay. For example, if I don't do a group by on this one and I select none as group by, then it'll tell you, right, what was the incident count right from that time to this time. Every month it is showing you that stuff, right? So this is the normal trend report you can have, because the number of incidents in the month of December or in the month of November will not change even now. So wherever things do not change, you can always do historical reporting even here. Only in the cases where values do change over a period of time, that, okay, state of the incident, priority of the incident, all those kind of things. Similarly, for other cases also, first call resolution time or all that stuff, SLAs and everything, right? So there you can find out using performance analytics. So that was the point of performance analytics. Now, today's primary topic is knowledge management. I think let us see if that is the right topic, I guess. Yeah, so we are on this 10th number topic today, which is knowledge management. Okay. Now, let's talk about knowledge management. This is very interesting. So, example, I'm just going here. I'm just searching the word knowledge and I will get the entire menu of knowledge. So you can see homepage, articles, create new, import articles. We'll go in each of these options one by one. I'm just showing you all articles for now, just a list view kind of stuff. System is taking not a lot of time, it seems. Yeah, so in knowledge, the purpose of knowledge management, in the meantime, system is loading up. The purpose of knowledge management is that we should be able to use a repository which is there in system for solving my incidents, solving my cases, doing some problem workarounds, doing some change steps. So all of that, generally in different organizations, you have different inventory sources. For example, someone has SharePoint, someone has Atlassian Confluence, which is right. So people do keep things there in terms of how to do what. You can do the integration with those sources also. I'm not saying that. However, if you're setting it up from scratch, then it is always advisable to do it from ServiceNow itself and just create those knowledge articles and people can use it. Now, the best part about this is, where do you use knowledge? You want to solve an incident. You can see the moment you type the title of the incident, you can see, okay, There is something already there. There is a knowledge article. I'll show you how does it look like. And you can fix the incident immediately. It will not take much time for you. Even for on the cases of self-serve, for example, you have opened the portal for the end users and they are searching something on the portal. Now, for example, how to disable my firewall, and they will find some knowledge articles there itself. So they don't need to raise a ticket for it because they can see that article themselves and they can use that article to solve the problem. So this is where your knowledge management, when it gets integrated with incident, problem, change, request, or the normal queries, this is where it becomes more and more powerful because it is a contextual search. The moment I am trying to write an article, maybe creating an incident, and automatically based on the title, it starts giving me, suggesting me knowledge articles. This is how the flow works. Now, this is the home page of knowledge article, where you can see you have these categories right now: knowledge articles, consumer service, customer service. You can create more, and you can IT knowledge. You can add more categories to it. You can add more articles to it, and this is where it tells you featured content. This is the most useful content. This is the most viewed content, right? So all of those things are here by default. Now, for example, if I were to tell you a few things here, let's see how does it work from incident. I were to create an incident, and I'm just trying to see if that contextual result does help me here, right? So you can see this related search results by default, right? So my email is not working. Can you see this? It is giving you, so it has taken the keyword, it is giving you, these are the knowledge articles you can use. You can see any one of them and you can see, okay, for example, this is the one I am looking into. And then I can say, this is I've seen, okay, I read it, I will see, okay, it is all fine, makes sense to me. Here I can read the article. It is not rated yet. So yeah, this helped. You can say this helped, which means the article will be marked as useful. And it will also create, it will go in your favorites by default. So the idea is, this is where the power of knowledge comes into play when you actually use it with incident management, with problem management, with request, whatever the use cases are, with different modules. This is where, so knowledge is a platform level feature which can be reused across any modules wherever you want to use it. That's the whole idea of knowledge management. Now see this, right? How does it work in real time? Portal, for example, I'm opening service portal. This is the, I think we have not talked about, we have talked about service portal, right? When we talked about now platform user interface, we have seen that there is a service portal which is given for the end users to interact with them. They can raise their own requests and incidents directly from here, and generally does not require license to give them access to the portal, because it is end user portal. They can raise things from here. Let's see, let it open up. In the meantime, we can go back here. So here also from service portal, you can see it. From incident, as I said, you can see it. Even from problem records, you can see all of that. And you can create the knowledge from an incident also. Right now, for example, if I were to go to incident, and I'm just going to a resolved one. There's nothing interesting. All. From here, context menu. Yeah, so once you come here, resolution record, because it is already in resolution state, closed state. That is why, okay. That is what I was asking, why it is not working. Give me a second, maybe something which is in progress. Here I can select knowledge, that okay, I need to create knowledge for this particular article, and I'm just saving this incident. You can see the menu options here, right? So the moment you create knowledge here, In the meantime, I think this system is getting updated. You see here. I'll come to this part a little later. So here in the service portal section, generally you can create knowledge from incident also. I'm just trying to find out why it is not working in that direction. In the case of knowledge base, so this is the knowledge. You can click on here, you can click on here, wherever you want to click, you can click there, knowledge base, for example. This is where it will show you all the knowledge articles in your organization which you have access to. Now you have access to these categories, and under these categories, you have access to these knowledge articles. You can see the knowledge articles here. If you want to, you can maybe come here, Excel. It will show you what article is there. You can search as well, whatever you want to search. So this is an article which is there. Now you open the article, for example. In the moment you open this article, you have actions like flag article, edit article, and once you go down, you can mark this article, rate this article. I can say 4 rating. I can say mark as helpful. I can also add a comment in the article. This is where you actually make things more usable for everybody, right? So more numbers of users mark it useful, which means people will see immediately that this is article which kind of helps everybody. It can help me as well, right? If it is not helpful, you can mark as no. If you think you need to give some feedback, you can click a comment here. You can write the comment. It should include, and the comment again, it should include some more details. And then the article comment is already posted here, which means now whoever has created this article, right, he will be able to see the comment on the article and he can edit the article. If you want to flag this article here, the flag, then bandit comment is mandatory. Even here you can say this is not a complete article, please update it. Please update it. Now it will be in the flagged articles list automatically, and somebody who is acting as knowledge manager will go in system and see which articles have been flagged, and they will review those articles again and they will republish them after updating it. So this is how the entire cycle works. I'll tell you the initial cycle, that how this article came into picture here in the first place. We'll talk about that part, but this is more about end user concept, where they can give the feedback on an article, they can use an article, and they can copy this permalink to share this article with others also. Permalink copied successfully. If I come here, I just need to copy paste it. It will directly take me to the article. This is how you share the article with other users, right? Now, if I come here and if I just show you that how this knowledge article works. This one, just a minute. Just looking at, there's something which is, did I mark it resolved? I think I did mark it resolved. Oops, which one? This is an incident I updated in the last minute. Let's close this incident. Do you see this here? The moment I change the incident from resolved to closed, knowledge article has been created and attached to the parent record. You can go back and you can see this article now. This article, whatever we just create, I mean, the resolution notes I have put in the incident, based on that, this article has been created in the system already. So it gets created when you mark incident from resolved to closed. This is interesting stuff to understand. So, and that will work only when you have, no, this is the wrong one, I guess. Maybe the numbering has, there are more articles with this number. Is that the case? Click here to see full search results. It seems there are multiple articles with the same name. It seems to be the case to me, unfortunately. But this is what maybe it will come here. Wait a minute. When I do knowledge, right, and I Can you see this article? This is the one which we just created based on that incident automatically. So because I have clicked on the button called knowledge, and then when I moved it from resolve to close, at that time it automatically created this incident. Sorry, this knowledge base, and this knowledge base is also attached to the source task. I mean, from this incident, it was actually created, right? And then whatever I've written there, it has come up here in this article. Now I can publish it, I can retire it, I can update it. Right now it is in draft state, so I can publish it. If I think I'm okay, so article has been published. Now this article will be published. And this is where you can see the workflows. So generally, knowledge management, when you create a new article, these are the workflows you have. Draft is the first thing. Review, you can send it to review if you want to. In this case, it is script published in progress. So right now it is already published. It is in this stage right now. Now, after that, there are two more stages. One is pending retirement, and last is retired. So these are the 5 stages which are out of the box. You can create your own workflows. You can create your own articles. That does not really help. That does not really stop you to do anything, whatever you want to do. That should be fine. But then if you just want to see which article is in which state, so you can see this here very clearly, that which article is in which state. Can you see this here, right? So it tells you that wherever you have this arrow, it says skipped. And whenever you have this arrow, it says in progress for that particular thing. And wherever you don't have anything, it means it has not started yet. Right? So this is how you can see the list view of the articles, how many articles are there in system, and how do they look like. So this is the very basic stuff. How does it look like? Now, let's understand how to create a new article for the first time. That is more important. Do you have any questions so far in terms of how to use knowledge? So far I was telling you how to use knowledge article from the portal, how to use knowledge article from the incident, how to create a new knowledge article from the incident also. We have taken these 3 things. We have seen the list view of the knowledge articles. How can you find out under which stage it is right now? You can always find it out. Now, if I were to create a new article, this is where I have to click on create new. Now, when I say create new, now you have to understand the meaning of each and every word here, every field here. So this is, of course, auto-generated. There is no question around it. Now you have to select a knowledge base. Knowledge base generally is for that area which containerizes your knowledge articles. For example, when we were seeing it here, you remember I was showing you this part, and then these are the knowledge base categories. Knowledge base, and then these are the categories under it. So this is how you structure your articles, because you don't want to put everything under one single area, right? So you want to do a proper categorization. For example, if I were to select knowledge base, I am selecting maybe customer service or IT for that matter right now. And now the moment I have selected the knowledge base, this category field comes up. Before that, there was no category field. It was kind of grayed out. Now in IT, you have multiple categories. Let's see how does it look like. This is a category picker. Now this is something out of the box. You can create your own. So you can see this is a multi-layer hierarchy. For example, if I were to go here, devices, Google, or if I go to Apple, Microsoft, Excel, VPN. So this is where people have defined the categories of a particular area. So this is how it is good to organize it accordingly. So for example, if I were to just do this devices or maybe IT, and I just do policies or security, Java, anything. So I'm splitting it in this area, IT policies. So IT is a knowledge base, policies is a category under that knowledge base, and this category can be multi-hierarchical. It completely depends upon us how do we want to create categories. You can create category under category under category. You can create a multi-layered structure there. We'll come to that part a little later. Maybe if I were to show you this part, right? So open this report and see this. This is your label policies value, parent ID is knowledge ID category. Now you can create multiple categories under it. And when I create multiple categories under it, it will ask me for the parent ID. So in this case, the parent is policies automatically, right? Because the policy was the one from where actually we went here. So this was the policies. If I'm creating a new inside it, it will take this as a parent. So you have this parent-child relationship under these policies, under these categories. This is very important to know. Whenever for the first time you want to create a knowledge article, this is what people have to actually establish first. They have to finalize the knowledge base. They have to finalize the category, and now validity date. For example, I would say that this should be valid maybe one year from now. Right now the date is go to today, and now I'm saying maybe after a year from now. You can write scripts also which can automatically populate this valid to date from 1 year from now, whatever the creation date is. Now this article type, you can create HTML article, you can create a wiki article also. This is also a feasibility. Workflow is draft byte because right now we're creating it. Source task. Now, if you remember in the previous case, when we created an article from the incident, in that case, source task was auto-populated as that incident number because from that task, the task was a source of that particular article. That is why it is called as, because right now this article is being created only from the main interface. You're not using it for any source. That is why it is not having anything here, attachment link. Now, if I kind of select this, then what will happen is, if I click this article, it downloads the attachment automatically rather than opening it in normal article view. If I were to say display attachments, in this case, it also displays all the attachment when you view the article, but then only when it is unchecked, because if it is checked, then there is no point in having both these options open, because in this case, the attachment is already getting opened, right? If you see this, you also get this toolbar. Do you see sometimes when, for example, if you're not clear about how to use this field, you can just hover around the mouse there, and you can see what does it say. It says display all attachments. Display all attachments when viewing article only relevant when attachment link is unchecked. So in this case, if you are doing this, you have to uncheck this one. I'm just writing maybe output issues with my network. Anything I'm just typing up here, right? So that's okay. Now this is where the art, because I have selected HTML here, that is why it shows me the page. This is a test article, and because it is HTML, I can actually play around with the font. I can play around with anything, whatever styling, whatever is there, bold, italic, underline, whatever I want to do, I can do spacing. I can even do this one, right? So all of that I can do. This a clear HTML page, and then you submit this record. And you can also select related products. For example, this is for a particular product, so it goes to that particular product area. We have product model table in ServiceNow. So if it is applicable for a particular product, you just select that product. But if you do not, that's okay also. Now you click on submit. Right. So if you remember, after I clicked on submit, the actual article has gone back, because submit means it comes back to the list view. If you remember, that is what we've learned earlier also, right? Submit means, now let me just do a sorting on updated today. Yeah, fine. So can you see this? This is the one which we just created, right? IT enter policies, and it is in draft state. Now view article. You can view article from here. You can give feedback as well, whatever you want to do. Now, if you want to publish this one, you can publish it. So in that case, the article is knowledge item is in review, because the workflow. So you can see this. This is here in this stage review. So this was the stage of draft. This is the stage of review. This is the stage of published. This is the stage of pending retirement. This is the stage for retirement, right? Now, in this case, it has gone to review. The reason behind this is because the workflow we have attached to this, it requires, I mean, anything, if you've defined that anything which is under knowledge-based IT or under category policies should be reviewed first before getting published, then it has to do the same thing. You have to first review it. It has gone to approval. See this, right? Now, they must have defined this approval in the back end that whenever the category is policies and knowledge bases IT, you cannot publish an article directly. You should always be getting it approved from somebody. And after you approve it, let's see what happens. So you can see workflow has been published automatically. Now it is visible to everybody because it is now published. Okay. And under which categories we did it? IT and policies. So let's go back to our just refresh it. So earlier there were 7 articles in IT. Now there are 8 articles in IT. So and policies. This is the one which we just created. And I can tell, okay, this is no, I'm not very happy with this article. Not helpful. Please change the content. right? And I kind of, I post submit it. I can add attachment also with it, right? And then I am kind of going back here and I am saying actions also flag article, content not good enough. So, which means article has been flagged now. Now let's go back to the instance and see. Do you see this? There is a concept of feedback management under knowledge application itself. Now here, under my flagged articles, I can see this article because flagged is true now. It is flagged. People have given me some comment. Now let me see. This is your feedback. I mean, this is not my, it's for everybody, wherever the system administrator was there. So they have given some feedback there. For example, they can see the comments here, where to find the pen. Does this work for all versions? So they can see that as well. My flagged articles, I can see, if I were to see here. So you can see the knowledge feedback, what feedback people have given in this particular knowledge. So can you see this, right? When I marked it flag, at that time, I used the description or comments as content not good enough. And when I have put the comment generally in the article here, this comment, it is coming up here as please change the content. So this is where you can see people have given what kind of reviews around this article. You can always see this, right? Now, anybody, if I kind of refresh this article again, I can see all those contents, right? I can always see, I can see the rating as well, 2 views, 2 ratings only. So no, not a very good article in terms of that, right? So this is how the entire knowledge management chain or cycle works. First, you create a new article, then you get it reviewed. You select the right knowledge base, like right category, then you select it, and then this is one way of creating it. I'll tell you. For example, if I were to create a new article, maybe wiki, you can see the link has changed. So in this case, you are supposed to add the link of any other third-party source. People can directly go to that link and they can see that if there is a third-party source you are talking about. Now, if I were to see import articles, right? I have to kind of import an article and I want to create a knowledge base directly from that article. Here in this case, it is actually about you can only import document files. I mean, Word document files. You can see here doc and docx files. So first of all, you have to select, okay, maybe this time I'm selecting customer service as my knowledge base and category as maybe monitoring services. And I can import multiple Word files together, to be honest. It's completely up to me. But I don't think that I have any, okay, I have this, for example, I'm just uploading this one, right? Article 1, it will create this article automatically. Continue, article created. See this, right? You can edit it, you can create it. So what I'm saying is even with importing of articles, you can also do the same thing here. This is how it helps you to use any article which is already there in your documentation. You just want to import it. You can actually go ahead and upload it here and it will create an article. Now unpublished. So here you can see everything what is unpublished, which is still not published, which is under review. You can see why it is not under published. It is in draft state, which means the people have not themselves sent it. Whoever has created the article, they have not sent it to the further stages. So you can go back to them and ask them why is it pending with you right now? Do you want to have some more details around it? This is where you can see all the published articles. 61 articles are available in your system as of today. Now, depending on the access you have, you can see as many of them, depending on the categories and subcategories. You can see this here, categories. So this is where it talks about it. And it's also, it will show you knowledge base. So it is better to see under which knowledge base, under which category, what kind of articles do we have. So these are the knowledge bases we have right now. Under this 16 and this 12 and this 32 and this is 1. So this is how you can do a group by. You can create your own knowledge base, that's okay. Right? If I were to say, for example, if I were to go here and open link this new tab and I want to just see the categorization also, group by category, I can do this here. This is again the list view which we talked about earlier. You can understand, okay, into which categories, what kind of articles, how many articles are there. So you can always have a review. So generally, all of this, whatever we're doing right now in terms of knowledge management, it requires an end-to-end process, which means you need to define the people who are supposed to approve the articles for a particular knowledge base for the entire organization, some kind of technical L2, L3 kind of review you want to have, right? So you have to be very particular in terms of defining the knowledge base, defining the categories of the knowledge base, and defining this workflow, whether this kind of article, wherever I use the category as IT, in that case, I always, or knowledge bases IT, in that case, I always want it to get reviewed by a technical team as well as a knowledge manager. You can always configure all of those things. But this is how you actually use knowledge management in your day-to-day life. So once the article is created, now you can use it anywhere. As I was showing you that when I type anything, you can always find this article. For example, if I were to go here and this is my portal, right? I'm going back to home. I'm saying I have an issue with VPN. Can you see this? Anything which is under knowledge bases has also come up here. And you can see the categories, see these filters, right? You can always see, you can do a filtering here just the way you do it for any e-commerce website, right? You can always select the category, you can select the author, you can select the last modified date, you can set the view count. So there are multiple things which you can do here in terms of filtering out the records from your site. And best part is, this is where it will help you. For example, as I said, email issue, for example. And I think there is something which is kind of helping me with this. And for example, I've just taken this one, right? And I said, this is helping me. And then I've just marked, I will just mark it 5 rating, helpful, yes. And then that's enough. It will come in feedback. It will be shown to me in my system that, okay, it is all good. There is no problem with this article. Now, if I go back to this view, you can also do this. Once you're searching it, at that time only these things come filters, right? You can see these are filters here. For everything, you have this user interface wherever you search knowledge article. This is a portal view, right? So this is a user interface which generally IT support teams do not look into, because IT support teams actually look into this particular instance. This is for the end users who actually use ServiceNow for their own benefit in terms of raising a request, raising a so for example, they want to come here and raise a catalog. I mean, we talked about it in one of the classes. I'm not going much into this right now because this is a separate topic altogether. But yeah, this is where people use it in the day-to-day lives. This is how knowledge plays a very, very important role. Open submissions. There is nothing right now which is not open submission, so which is okay. Now feedback. So as I said, wherever you have got the feedback, it will show up here, right? Maybe if I just do all, it will show you all the comments, right? So comment, I'm just saying wherever comment is blank, just move that. And wherever you have comments here, it can show you that. This is where you receive the feedback. My flagged. This is my article which is created by me and it is being flagged. All flagged articles. Somebody has flagged even this one, for example. My submitted tasks, my assigned tasks, all open tasks, my closed tasks. So knowledge bases. This is where you set up the knowledge base. For example, I was saying that these are the 5 knowledge bases we have already in system. And you can you can create a new knowledge base also. See this here? This is a big thing because knowledge base you create only at a organizational level. So it is important to check it with the right people. Here you can define the owner. And once you define the owner, you for every article in that group, you can always say this owner has to actually approve it. This is how knowledge base works, right? And ratings. You can see this feedback here, right? Rating view, which articles have been rated as 5, for example, show matching. Okay, these articles are 5 rated. Excellent. Now I go back. I come here. I say which articles have been marked as useful as no. So this is where you review the cycle every time as a knowledge manager. So there is some problem with this article. It is marked. It has been marked as useful, not useful. So which means we have to review this article. So this is how things actually work in the knowledge management cycle, right? So I think yes, just give me one more second. I'm just trying to see if there is anything which is pending here. This is your homepage, which is about knowledge homepage. What are articles are here right now? You can see it here. Self-service management. Same homepage will come, I guess. Yeah, the same homepage. My knowledge articles can also be seen here, right? So if I were to create a new document, and if I were to say, nothing, yeah, we are good with this. Similar articles. Discuss almost everything here. Yeah, do you have any question in knowledge management now? Was it all good? You got the essence of it. You understood why do we do knowledge management?
Yeah.
We do it, and how do we do it actually, right? How do we use it in a daily basis? So this is where it becomes very important because, as I said, this is a platform level feature, and it will be useful for a lot of processes in day-to-day operations, right? And you can always, as I said, integrate with third-party sources also. That is also an option. Okay, so I think we're done for today. If no questions, we will close the session for today. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.